to Toyah and Robert's Burning Questions. We're your deeply unqualified chums here in the kitchen at the centre of the universe. We're about to serve you some useless answers.
And we hope your friends, your loved ones, your families are all doing well in what I think is going to be an exceptionally good year. I'm really optimistic about it.
I'm psyched. This is a stomper and a sucker of a year.
So John Mitchell, you ask, is there any ghouly, ghostly things in the house that go, whoa?
Well, what do you think, lovey?
Okay, I'm going to shout this, and Robert, you have to clear the picture, but in our doorway, over here, there is a permanent shadow. And it's been proven because in a few weeks' time, this house is featured on a haunted programme. We've got an hour-long special on this house, and they discovered that without me telling them. We don't know what it is, but we do believe that this house is on either a ley line or a funeral path, because there is a lot of activity here and it's quite random. So yes, we do have two sisters that reside in the house that used to live here and run it as a tea room. We have definitely got deserters from the Civil War, and that will be explained in this TV programme. And we have definitely got unwanted lower forces. But what is so special about this house is, yes, we do have typical ghosts because it's so old. Our cellar, which is the original part of the house, is the 1500s. So there's incredible history here, but there's also precognition here. And this is what really freaks people out. We know when someone has passed, because things just happen that we've learnt to read. And it is literally something will happen in this kitchen or on the landing, and I look at Robert and I go, I think so-and-so has just passed. I mean, we had it with a friend last year, a colleague who committed suicide, and I just looked at Robert and I said, you know what, I think such and such has just taken their life. And then the next day the phone call came. There is precognitive experiences in this house, and it's not just me, you get it too. And people who come here and have dinner or lunch, they see things and they go away having experienced something they didn't understand, and then we get a phone call a week later and said, did you know what happened after I visited your house? So definitely there's a lot going on here.
Yes, there you are, John. That's your answer to that question.
Now, you haven't said anything about this.
Well, my wife is more sensitive than I am, but yes, have I heard knocks on the bedpost?
Yeah.
Yes, sitting here in our kitchen with friends, even sceptical friends, wondering what Toyah's doing, walking outside the window in white
when
Toyah's upstairs. So yes. Also, I was in a delicatessen nearby. This was following a programme on the haunting in the house, going back about 10 or 12 years ago. And a gentleman came into the delicatessen while I was there, and he said, Toyah thinks that her house has been cleared. I've just come by and there's 5 spirits in there. Please let her know. If she would like me to clear them for her, I will.
This links to the story that our town is very, very haunted, and you can actually go for evening walks up and down the high street and see things in other people's houses. There's one house about 100 yards away where workmen will not go in it. And that's a ghost of a woman, isn't it, that keeps locking them in the loo and banging around on the top floor. So we're not exclusive here. It's very, very common in the town that we live in that has incredible history. It's a coaching town where over the past 500, 600 years, people that are travelling across England would change the horse and coach here. So it was like a hub, and it still is a bit of a hub.
Well, going back, we've had religious institutions here since about 700 AD.
Yes.
So, and that's only recent history.
And I believe before the dissolution of the monasteries, the Pope disowned this town for the behaviour between a nunnery and a monastery, and said that it was very naughty behaviour, and he disowned the town.
I don't believe anyone in our town would misbehave like that, dear.
No.
Shall we move on to the next burning question?
I'm going to tie two questions together here. Juppie, you ask, how do I learn aim and focus? But also, David Vermette, you ask, how does a musician develop a strong personal style? And I think both can marry into each other.
What would you say, Lovey?
Well, how do I learn aim and focus? I have no choice. If I'm about to do a movie, I have to learn aim and focus. You have to completely absorb the script and know the story and change your whole thought processes to find that character. For me, that is aim and focus. When I'm writing an album, I have to make sure that the mundane in life does not come anywhere near me, because it's a killer on creativity, and it's a selfish action, but you shut yourself away, you do the practicing you need to do, you do the focusing, the meditation you need to do, totally selfishly, and do not allow anything into that territory. But there's also practice, practice, practice. And this is where I personally believe personal style comes from. So I think you should take over.
Right. Well, Toyah's just... Why? What is our aim? Well, Toyah's just referred to, there is a professional necessity in any walk of life. We have to be able to deliver. So there comes with that the necessity to focus. There is also a personal necessity where we wish, for example, whatever we understand by personal development, to develop ourselves in some way, or develop a personal discipline, perhaps simply to learn an instrument as a hobby. So for this, we establish ourselves a program and we keep to it. Now, within the overall structure of any discipline or program, a good piece of advice is to focus on one small thing, one small element of our practice, and discharge it superbly. All of our practice is a big thing, but, for example, to be able to hold a pick and play is not a big thing, although actually it is a huge thing.
It is big with you.
It is big with me. So we look at one small element of our practice, how to hold a pick, and then bring it to the string, release and return.
Do that again.
Very simple.
Now, you may be watching this and thinking, I could do that with my eyes closed. What Robert is talking about is a precision that you set into the body that helps you not waste energy. So when I'm playing, my hand travels too far. I'm wasting energy. I'm wasting my timing. And when Robert is playing, it's the minimal, least energy needed with the most precision of time. Now, I fight this with Robert because of my background. Everything for me comes through energy moving through the body, and that's how I focus. And that energy is not about the precision of a ballet dancer, it's not about the precision of a violin player, it's the energy of spontaneous expression. So I am radically different to you in how I work. And I think sometimes our creativity and our drive to be creative is completely contradictory, and we have to allow ourselves to contradict ourselves and past experiences to move forward. I don't think you can always be set to a timetable. I'm not like that. But what I will say is, through my guitar lessons, and I had to break away from these for the last 2.5 months to do a show called Proud Cabaret, there was just no time to do anything. In that time, I was not practicing. My neural pathways were still growing from those lessons. So I would say, whatever you choose to do, whether it's practice or you need to break away to look after a relative or a child, remember that practice has started a process that never stops. And it's of incredible value to all of us who want to learn and grow.
Excellent, Lovey.
Good.
Now, for David Vermette, how to develop a personal voice? Well, of the 5 elements of practicing, for example, on guitar, the 5th, which we always tend to forget because we work so hard and we're so focused and so on, is play. And it's through play, the non-judgmental engagement with our instrument, having fun, that we tend to allow space for our personal voice to begin to speak. This comes from who we are, not what we are. Learning the instrument is essentially what we are. So through play, highly recommended we move to an engagement between who we are, speaking from the deepest center of us to what we are, our performance capacities on the instrument.
Do you mean play with other musicians or just play on your own?
Well, it can be either.
Okay.
It can be, but in this specific situation, just play, let go. We've done our practice, we've done our calisthenics, our fingerboard knowledge, our repertoire, our ear training, and those four, gradually building a personal practice. Have fun, let rip, go.
Yeah, enjoy chord journeys, chord
Anything.
relationships,
Yes.
harmonic relationships.
Yes.
Just learn what your ear loves.
That's right.
I love it.
And as the melodies and the harmonies develop, this is an indication of who we are.
Brilliant.
Excellent.
And also, it's like running. You get stamina from it as well. It gives you stamina.
Yes, it does. It builds up over time.
So talking of stamina, what's your magic chords today?
Well, I've been looking at a few here, and here's one of several we've been looking at and considering. Or whatever. I mean, I'm having fun.
Okay, well, everybody, thank you for joining us today. Tomorrow we have another Toyah Roberts Sunday lunch that really pushes out the boundaries.
We will be rocking out.
Yay! So I hope to see some of you in the UK. I'm on tour for the next 2 months. And then I've got Hazel O'Connor and myself are touring in June. It's a very, very busy year. And then at the end of the year, I've got the Anthem album being re-released. And we are in the studio working on another project with Simon Darlow, which we're wildly excited about. But we'll see you tomorrow for Sunday lunch.
Please be well and stay safe, dear chums.
And we will see you next week for another Burning Questions. We're not going anywhere. So lots of love. Bye from Toyah.
And from Robert.